I couldn't listen to the song again on repeat. So my book closed on me while I was typing in the answer. So I've got to go back and finish doing that. But I didn't want y'all to have to keep listening to that. But anywho's, so welcome in everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? I'm gonna turn this camera off while I type, but I'll still talk to y'all. And let's see here. Angels, it's okay. Welcome in, Rudy. Hey, Miss Karen. Rudy says, do I have chocolate? I do have chocolate sitting on the desk behind me. Okay, let me go back over here and finish typing. Woo-wee. So, y'all, sorry I'm running late. After work, I decided to run to Hobby Lobby. And I wasn't taking my time or anything. I went in for one thing. And I got it. It's actually something I never even looked for before, which is soap making supplies, but I figured they probably had them. Okay. Okay, so let me save that part of it. And let's see. Oh, I was wrong. I took a wild guess and it was not right. Yikes. Okay. Let me type this in. And save. Hey, Miss Kimberly. Rudy says, do you like pudding? I do like pudding. Okay. The category for next week is Easter. I should have flipped a couple of pages ahead, and then I could have done that last week. That would have been, or 2 weeks ago. That would have been perfect. But anywho, I'm back. All right. Whoo-wee. Okay, so what am I working on tonight? I'm working on a whip. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Whoa, knocking stuff off. So I'm gonna work on this big old honker thing. This is the big old giant wool basket. Ta-da! I'm just gonna keep working on it till it gets as big as I think it needs to be, and then I will felt it. But right now it's big enough that I could get in the daggone thing. It's huge. But that's okay. I wanted it to be big. I'm just trying to figure out where I was at. There's my little stitch marker. What stitch am I doing here? Double crochet looks like. Now let me grab a hook. I don't remember which one I was using. We're going to go with P because I really don't remember. Anybody remember what hook I was using last time? Was it the P? I don't remember. I kind of think so, but I couldn't swear to it. Anywho, all right, let me move this stuff over and flip my camera. There we go. Settings. Camera. There we go. It is warm in here, y'all. Hey, Miss Rachel, how are you tonight? It is warm, warm, warm. Let's see, does it say how hot it is outside right now? Where's my temp? Come on, show me my temp. I want to see the temperature. I don't want to see all this other stuff. Where are you? And slow. Okay, well, that's not pulling up. So let's just go right here and look on my phone. Let's see how hot it is. It says it's 70, but it's warmer than that in my house because I did finally break down and turned on the AC yesterday, I think. I couldn't take it anymore. I was trying to wait until May. I almost made it. But I was like, girl, it's too hot. It was like 80 something degrees in the house. And I'm like, nope. Yeah, I couldn't wait anymore. Rachel said we need more thumbs, folks, please. Yes, please, and thank you. And I don't have my little window to put myself in tonight because well, you know what? What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. I have another hook to hold my phone, but I was recording a tutorial using my other arm, and this particular one broke, the one that I've been using. So, anywho, all right, get me a little drink. So, anybody out there in, okay, that's not the one I was using. That's way too big. Okay, I must have just been using a regular. What did I do with it? Where's my hook? Did I take you in the other room? Surely not. Well, I was filming the tutorial. I haven't lost my hook. It couldn't have gone far. It would either be here somewhere or in the living room. But I was working on stuff in here, so I feel like it should be in here. Or did I have it in the... No, they're both in here. Both projects are in here. Well, you know what? We're just going to go with this one. Rachel said, I'm still trying to figure out that other window. It's, what I have to do is I do it with I use my phone, and I have to plug in earbuds so that it doesn't give me the feedback. And then I mute, like when I pull it up, I mute that camera. So I add myself as a guest on my phone. Is how I get myself in the little window. I think this is going to be too big. I mean, too small of a hook, but we'll try a few stitches and see how it goes. But this craft room is hot. It is very warm in here tonight. And it's probably too because I was running around, because it didn't seem hot in the other room of the house. But then I came in here to rush to get stuff ready. Because what I did was, so as I was saying, I ran to Walmart. I ran to Hobby Lobby after work, picked up supper, got home, ate supper, and then came in here to get everything set up. So, anyway, but I told myself before I went into Hobby Lobby, I said, Steph, you're only going over to the soap section. We are not making a detour to the yarn. We are not making any other detours. So I went straight to the soap. And then I was gonna pop in over and see if they had anything on clearance, but then I was like, no, you gotta go. So I looked at the soap supplies for making soap, and then I checked out and came on home, swung through Kentucky Fried Chicken. Hey, Nana Michelle, welcome in. She says she's laughing at the conversation with myself. Tried that, didn't work. I have to look at beads and yarn. Well, I knew that I had to get home. Well, and is yarn on sale this week? Like, I didn't even look to see, because if I had of, then that would have motivated me to, go over there. But I didn't. I was a good girl. Straight to the soap. I was going to go to the clearance, and I forgot they don't have it in the back corner anymore. It's in the middle. And I was like, okay, nope. But I was already back there anyway because that's where the soap's at. So, but I did not even go to the clearance section. I just went to check out. Michelle says, yes, it's on sale since it's my non-pay week. Well, it's probably best that I didn't go over there then because I don't need yarn, but you know. But I did buy yarn, what, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I did. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Because I bought it and then I had a craft show and then, yep. I have a craft show this weekend too. So tomorrow I've got to get everything together for that, which is why I decided to go to Hobby Lobby after work instead of waiting until tomorrow, because tomorrow I've got to make sure all my stuff is still organized and ready to roll. Because this particular craft show, we can't set up early. We have to set up like the day before. We have to set up the day of, which is kind of suckalicious. Because I will have to I will have to leave home at like 6 o'clock to get to the venue and start setting up at 7. And they moved the venue, which is also kind of suckalicious because the previous one had a covered pavilion, so we wouldn't have to take our canopy or anything. We could just show up and set up. But now we have to bring a tent. Well, I mean, we don't have to, but I don't want to stand out in the sun all day. I would prefer to have a little bit of shelter. So we'll have to set that up, which means I'll have to also pack up the canopy and the weights that go on the legs, which I haven't had to use those in a while, so I'm pretty sure I know where they are. They're in one of the closets. I think they're in the hall closet, but I hope they're in there, not out in the building. Because if they're out in the building, then they probably got spiders and stuff nesting on them. Ugh. Hopefully they're in this closet. Usually I keep them inside, so. But the last time I bought yarn at Hobby Lobby, I bought 14 skeins. Yes, I did. And this, I did not buy it this past time, but this is a Hobby Lobby yarn. And I'm thinking that maybe I was using this hook because it's not looking too much smaller than the previous row. And I'm not super duper, like, concerned about it if it is a little bit smaller, just because this is a basket for me, and once it felts, it's going to shrink it down anyway. So it'll be okay. So what has everybody got planned for the weekend? Anything fun and exciting? The craft show that I'm going to is supposed to have music as well, and I guess one of the pluses to them moving the venue is now we're going to be closer to where closer to the stage where the music's going to be. So at least now we'll get to hear all the music, which is kind of cool. And maybe that will like improve like the flow of people coming in because we'll be near the stage. And we're like in a more visible area to where people just driving down, like if they're on their way to Walmart or whatever, they'll be able to see that there's something going on and they might be like, hey, let's pop in and see what we can see what we can find. Hey, Dreamy, welcome in. So I'm hoping that I will be able to sell the rest of my little spa baskets. Maybe they'll sell well for Mother's Day. Hopefully. Whoa. So it will be a long day, but hopefully everything will sell. You know, that's always the goal, is to try to sell everything. But even if I can sell half would be nice. So I think what I will do with this color is just do like I did with this one and just do a big old wide block of it, or stripe. Thinking that's what I'm gonna do. And I have got to make a top priority for this summer season to find the remote that goes to the ceiling fan so I can get some air stirring when I'm in here. I mean, I could go pop, bump the AC down a little bit. Especially while I'm on lives, because I have all the extra lights on, which makes it that much warmer in here. But yeah, also I talked to my friend that's gonna make the soaps, and she was giving me some other options. She said she would absolutely 100% make the soap for me, but she also thinks that I might enjoy making the soap. So that's why I was going to check out the supplies at Hobby Lobby. That is not where I will be if I decide that I like making the soap, that's not where I will be buying all my supplies from. But I thought, you know what? I'll buy like a one batch. I'll buy supplies to make one batch to test it out. That way, if I don't enjoy it, then I can go back to her. And she said she would make it all, but she makes hers from scratch. I mean, she's got the goats, so she makes hers from fresh goat milk. So her goat milk soap is very, very fresh when she makes it. And she makes huge batches at a time, whereas I would be making small batches. Kimberly said, yes, that is a top priority. Yeah, I mean, it can't be far. It has to be in this room. And I've looked for it before. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to get better organized. And it probably either fell down into I have a recliner recliner over there. So it's where I used to do my lives. So it's possible that it fell down in that or fell under it. Or it fell into one of the project bags that's also over there. Which means I'm going to have, because it's not in the box when I took everything off my desk that I was using over there for doing the lives. And I thought it went into that box, but it did not. So it probably fell into one of the other things that's sitting over there. But it has to be in that general corner of the room. And it's not that this room is big. It's just got a lot of stuff in it. A lot of hiding places. Hey, Dawn P, welcome in. How have you been? She said, hello, all you beautiful people. Hello, hello. I'm just complaining about it being hot. Not really complaining. I like the warm weather. I really do. I prefer warm weather over cold weather. But I don't like to be hot, but I also don't like to be cold. So, You can't please everyone. I like it to be what I like it to be. But I may have to bump it down. Hey, Bonnie. She said, in the bushes crocheting, but I'm here. Well, welcome in. So, y'all, I have been working on the quilt tutorial, the crocheted quilt tutorial. I've got, let's see, I've got part 1, 2, let's see, part 1, 2, 3. I've got parts 1, 2, and 3 done. Still have to film up part 4, and then part 5 will be the border, so that'll be at the very end. I have not started editing, but if y'all saw my little short that I did showing this little guy, and you saw a little snippet, because while I was in the middle of filming that tutorial, I was like, oh hey, let me do some shorts while I'm doing this. So you get a little sneak peek at the at it if you watch that little little short. Bonnie says missing some thummies. Thanks y'all for reminding everybody to drop their thumbs. I appreciate that. But I asked y'all last week if y'all would prefer parts or one really long video, and so I've gone with the majority ruled and said that y'all would like to see it in parts. So I am going to release it in parts. And I probably, what I will probably do is like part 1 on a Monday, part 2 on a Tuesday, or start it on a Sunday and release it daily, and not drag it out like a weekly type thing. Because right now, for me to do one full color block row was taking me around 4 hours. That's without filming. That's just, so I feel like one part a day would be good. And the video's not, for each part's not going to be 4 hours. You know, I'm going to edit it down, so you won't be watching it for a full hour or 4 hours. It'll be lesser. Hannah Michelle said crocheting a bit before bed. 5 a.m. is early, but TGIF. Woo, yes, ma'am. So my Thursdays are my Fridays, just because I work 4 10-hour days. So I have Fridays off, which is fabulous. Getting adjusted to the 4 10s was hard, but luckily, like we switched gradually. Like we went from 8-hour to a 9-hour, then half day on Friday, and then we went to a 10-hour work day off on Fridays, which was fantastic. So I do enjoy my 3-day weekends. Mostly I catch up on sleep on Fridays, but you know. Hola, Maritza. Welcome in. Kimberly said, that sounds like a great plan. Awesome. But yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I'm going to do like an intro video and just let everybody know what we're doing, the inspiration for the pattern, and all that kind of stuff. Nana Michelle said, I would love that type of schedule. It's been great. The only, like, a lot of my plan was to like make all my appointments and stuff, or try to, on Fridays, but a lot of doctor's offices and stuff have the same schedule. Or, you know, they try not to see patients or do things on Fridays. Not all of them, but it's okay. I like it. I do. You know, if I am missing any of the comments, just shout out again if I have missed you coming in. Since I don't have the phone right here in front of me, I can't see the chat as much because it's off to the side while I'm looking down. And I think I said hola Maritza, but if I did not, hola Maritza. Welcome in. Gallery, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? For those that are coming in, all I am doing is I am working on a whip. This is a giant wool basket that I'm going to felt. So I am just working double crochet, double crochet, double crochet all the way around, around and around and around until I get it as long or as tall as I want it to be, which has got to be pretty tall to match the as big around as I made it. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to put handles on it. I think probably yes. Just because it is so big, I think handles would make it easier to tote around, move around. Hey, Miss Lisa. She said, I am late. Oh, you're not too late. She said, I'm very late. Nah, you're fine. And if y'all are catching the replay, thank you for coming in and catching the replay. To my replay watchers, I will try to remember to go in and take out all of the, at the beginning I was trying to type in the Jeopardy questions, so I had my intro playing over and over and over, but it was playing and distracting me. I think it played like 10 times and I was like, nope. Hey, Miss Trish, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Or for you, tomorrow. How are you doing? Miss Trish, as y'all can see, is in New Zealand, so she's already on Friday. But this big guy here, when I'm done with it, I'm going to, this is 100% wool that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It is not superwash, it's just plain old wool. Let me see. I got one over here. I don't remember this color. I think it's just like natural, I think is what they called it. Ugh. But it is. I love this wool from Hobby Lobby. It's their naturals line. This one's called Cocoa. I'm looking to see. There it is. It is just 100% wool. It is a 4-weight. It says hand wash, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it in hot water and felt this bad boy down so it'll go from being huge. It'll still be a good size basket, but it'll go from being giant to normal basket size or a little bit. Hopefully it'll be a bigger size basket, but not. So it is going to be an expensive basket because as y'all, I don't know if y'all saw, but those are $6.99 a skein. And these, it's going to have several skeins in it. Let's see, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins in it. And I think I know I've got that dark one. So I may have 6 total in it when I'm all done. Trish says she is doing good. Safe after hurricane force winds yesterday. Others not so lucky. Oh my goodness. Well, I am glad that you are safe, and I hate that for others in the area that possibly had damage. So that's, we have I'm not near the ocean, but usually when a hurricane comes through in the Gulf, it'll send the winds and the rain up, and we will have loads of rain and tornado warnings and stuff. So I feel for anybody that has to deal with that type of weather, which I know every region, everywhere has their own things that they have to deal with. You know, some areas have the wildfires, some have the earthquakes, some, hurricanes, tornadoes. We all have natural disasters. That's the word I was looking for. But They still suck. All right, y'all, we are at 8:30, so let me go ahead and do the Jeopardy answer. Let me go over here. So tonight, our category is still literary narrators. And if y'all were here at the very beginning, y'all heard me like typing it in, and I did not know the answer. I took a guess and I was way off. So the answer is, in The Book Thief, the narrator isn't a who per se, but this knocking at the door. Again, the category is literary narrators. Let's see, Trish said it was both sides of the island, so nowhere to run. So I just sit it out inside. I went live to keep my mind off of it. I don't blame you. Sometimes that's what you have to do, just, need a distraction. Luckily, you had power and were able to do that. But that's very scary when you've got it coming from both sides and nowhere to go. Hey, Theta, TR Diamonds and Drills. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. I am doing great. How are you doing, Miss Theta? And y'all, if y'all haven't been over to Miss TR's channel, she's been posting videos. So y'all go check them out of her diamond paintings. And I guess that is a good time to share. Let me go look and see what if y'all would like to drop your channel link, the word is BU. That's BEEYOU. All one word. BU. Because you know what? Don't try to be nobody else. Just be you. Tristan's going to lurk while I knit. And yes, it was amazing that I didn't lose power, but lots did. That's how we had a bunch of storms roll through here probably a month or so ago. And I was very fortunate that I didn't lose, kind of like you. I didn't lose power at my house, but my neighbors lost power for like a day. So, hey, Noe, welcome in. Theta has her brother's funeral on Sunday. I'm so sorry. But others did lose their power, so. And then last week, I did lose power, but it wasn't from, luckily, it wasn't from a storm, but it was from, it was because of a power outage or a fire at our substation, our power substation. But luckily, only one person was injured, and he was not injured. His injuries were not as bad as they initially thought, so that's great. Kimberly said we had to look up the answer. We had no idea. Yeah, and I took a guess, and my guess was wrong. Data says they have some bad storms coming tomorrow. Yeah, they said that we may get a thunderstorm here. So hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a little bit of rain and move on out of the way. Trish said her friends had broken windows, trees down on cars while driving, and damaged uptown. Oh my goodness. Y'all be sure to check out our friends that are dropping their channel links if you haven't had a chance to yet. Go check out their channels and see if they might be posting things that would interest you. And since we're all here crafting, I'm sure y'all will find something that y'all would enjoy watching. And make some new crafty friends. Okay, so I think we did about half a row because I was already started in the center there. Whoa. I think I was about halfway done. But I'm thinking that it looks like that I was using this hook. I mean, it's possible that I was using my K hook, but I'm not seeing that big of a difference. It don't look like that big of a difference to me anyway. It's not like drawing it in on itself. And Miss Trish offered her condolences. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. If I had a thought about it, I could have opened up my window because I think since it's 70 degrees outside, I could have opened up the window and then let some of the fresh air from outside into my room. I might do that before I go to bed, open up a window. As long as it's not supposed to rain. I guess I need to look at that. We did have a little bit of rain earlier today. And I don't think it's supposed to rain overnight. I don't think the rain is supposed to be here again until tomorrow. And as of right now, last I heard, Saturday is supposed to be nice. So hopefully that holds because having a craft show outside in the rain would suck. So I'm hoping that the weather is going to stay nice all day. Now he said, crazy week. Overheard on the scanner that someone set their house on fire when they tried to burn a black. Oh my goodness. Burning a black widow and burnt their house down. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, black widow spiders are no joke. So, but oh my goodness. Something so small can be so scary and do so much damage. Do y'all watch, what's his name? Kevin. I think it's Lawson is his last name. No, he said the dispatcher was trying not to laugh. Oh my gosh, I can imagine. Okay, I'm gonna look on my phone. I think that's his last name, but let me just check. He hates spiders. He's a yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Lawson. He's a influencer creator, but he hates this guy here. He hates spiders, so people are always sending him stuff, and like he always posts. He's like, if that was in my house, in the words of Usher, we just let it burn, and he'll play like that song and stuff, just for to be funny, but he hates spiders. So that would be a story to send to him because he would probably say that that's what he would do as well. I mean, I hate that they burnt their house down, or that they not burnt their house down. I hate that they caught their house on fire. But yeah, that would suck. But oh my goodness, what time? Oh, alrighty, let's go over here and drop our question to our answer. So again, y'all, the category is literary narrators. In the book Thief, the narrator isn't a who per se, but this knocking at the door. And y'all, the question is, what is death? I was so far off in my guess. Like I was thinking like opportunity knocking at the door. That is not the answer. I was thinking more, optimistic. But yeah. I've never read the book Thief because and since we're talking about books, did y'all score any of the free books last week on Amazon? My power went off, because they were switching back over to they got the power plant, the substation rather, they got it fixed, and so they had to like re-energize everything, and they had to switch us back from one substation back to the other. So my power went off. So I did not go back and get more, but I think I ended up with about a dozen books on my Kindle. So I will be ready, or I will be set for reading. Plenty of books to keep me busy for a while. They had a lot of craft, like cozy mysteries. That's what I like. And there may have been others as well, but I know there were loads of cozy mysteries that were available to download for free. And I'm gonna get that banner off because that just somebody coming in and says, "What is death?" They'll be like, "What?" Let them take that off. And it's probably not helping me cool off that I've got this like wool giant basket laying in my lap. Didn't think it through. I probably should have grabbed like a washcloth I started or something a little smaller and not wool sitting in my lap. But and y'all, I can't believe it's already May. This year is just flying by. Going by so fast. Let's see, Noe says she planted some wildflower seeds in February and I've got a poppy growing. Ooh, awesome! Poppies are pretty. So pretty. Right now in my yard, I've got my irises are blooming and my roses are blooming. I only had one tulip and it didn't last very long. Some sort of critter snapped it off. I'm guessing it was a critter. I mean, it could have been a neighbor, but I'm pretty dang sure it was a critter. My neighbors are really nice, and I don't think they would have walked up in my yard just to cut one little tulip off. Um, so pretty sure it was a critter. I've got these little chipmunks. If I had to guess, he probably ate it. I don't know. Do chipmunks eat tulips? But whatever. Or it could have been a deer. I also have a lot. We also have a lot of deer. Deer's probably a little more. Uh, what's the word? Probable. But like on my irises, the ones on the left side of the tree all bloom. The ones on the right are just green stalks. They only one or two of them bloomed. But then last year it was the opposite. All the ones on the right bloomed and the ones on the left didn't. So, and then I have some off on the other side of the yard that face the sun the same way as the ones on this side, but I guess it's just rockier or something because they never do well on that side. So I need to dig those up and move them somewhere else in the yard. But my clematises are growing. I have a trumpet vine that's all nice and green. It doesn't have any buds on it yet, but it's greened up. And I planted I think it was a juniper bush. It didn't do very well. I guess it got, I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. It's got, most of it looks dried up and dead, but it still has one little sprig of green going off of it. So the whole thing's not gone, but oh, it looks terrible. I guess I'm gonna have to cut all the dried up sections off of it. It's a little evergreen, but oh, it just looks terrible. I have another one that I've had in the yard for several years, and it's always done really well. But this one, not so much. It's looking sad. it replaced a boxwood that, I guess 2 winters ago now, we had some, I don't know, they weren't flash freezes, but somehow the way the temperatures went up and down so drastically, um, it really, it took its toll on a lot of the evergreens in the area. And my little boxwoods did not fare well. And they had been there for years, like years and years, probably close to 20 years. And it took out both of them. Well, one of them also has one little sprig of green on it. And I've hoped that it would have new growth down at the base, but so far it hasn't. So I may have to replace it as well and just let the soil replenish itself this summer and then plant something in it next spring. But I don't know. When it comes to gardening, I have a green thumb. I mean, I don't have a green thumb, I have a black thumb. So I usually plant stuff that requires little to no effort on my part, like plant it and let it go, plant it, water it till it's good and established, and then don't touch it again. That's my kind of gardening. And those have done really well up until last year, or 2 winters ago. So I may just have to dig them up and, like I said, just let the soil do something else. And I planted flowers like between them, and they did not come back either. So, which that part of it, I know what happened with it. I've got silly little critters underground that keep eating the roots of some of the stuff when I plant it, which is a pain. But I don't think they would have messed with the bushes because, like I said, they had been there for so long. We had in my old house, we had planter boxes going up and down the driveway, and we had planted wildflowers in those, and they were really pretty. I have no idea what all popped up. They were all different colors. Just I had some little purple ones, some little pink ones, some that looked blue, but I don't think they were really blue, but probably a different shade of purple that when mixed in with all the other stuff kind of gave a blue hue, but they're really pretty. Add a little color going down the driveway. Sorry, y'all, had to get me a little drink. What I need to do is hold this basket up and see, or measure it and see how tall it is, because it's going to shrink down about a third, or maybe even a half. I know when I did a purse, it shrunk a lot. So what I'll do this time, before I felt it, I will measure. I will do a pre-felting measurement, and then measure it again after it's all felted. Let's see. Noe said she found a little green caterpillar in the yard. It had legs in the front and legs in the back, and when it walked, it folded in half. Oh, like a little inchworm, like that kind, like where it like bends up like this and then goes down. Instead of like crawling, it like its little, like, I like watching them move. They're cute. Here comes Tinykins. If if y'all hear something, he's probably getting ready to start. I have a bag sitting over there, like a tote bag. He likes to lick the handles, like the nylon handles. Does anybody else's animals do weird stuff? Like, I think that's weird. He likes to lick those, and he likes to chew on plastic, like if if I have a bottle and has like a plastic seal around the top that you have to like peel off before it'll open. He likes to chew on that kind of plastic. Like if you buy like a pack of bubble gum and it's got the plastic wrap around it. Yep, he likes to chew on it. Hey, Lori. Welcome in. She said, working on a mosaic blanket from Ophelia Talks. Ooh, pretty. I haven't been to Ophelia Talks channel in a while. I need to go check out what she's got going on. Hello, Tiny. Tiny has made his way over here. He is just out of camera range. He was sitting up against me in the living room, and maybe that's what got me hot. He was like a dang little oven setting my leg on fire. I was like, golly, little dude. Kimberly said, our sweet love is a complete fruitcake. No, he said, my cat likes to chew on the bags I get from Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Yeah, that, and he likes to lick the handles of them, too. So, well, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one with a little weirdo. So, Tinykins, you are not alone, my friend. You are not alone in your crazy catness. Ooh, what is that? That is, I don't know what you would call it. It's part of the yarn. But we're gonna pull it out. It's like a little hard piece, but I hope y'all saw it. I'll put it back over there. Can you see that little teeny tiny piece right there? And it could be hay. I don't know. From like, but it was mixed in with the yarn, so. And there's a hair. That's probably from my head. Everybody that gets something from me crocheted gets a piece of my hair for free. Nana Michelle said, I found out that the plastic bags have beef tallow in them, and that's why the cats like them so much. Really? That would probably explain it. I don't know. I just figured, like, from carrying it, maybe the salt on my hands, or I don't know. But that makes sense. So it's got like a food-like substance. Well, I guess it's not a food-like. I guess it really does have some sort of food in it. But yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he just sits there and licks it and chews on it and drives me nuts. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more stitches on this row, and then I'm going to measure the base of this bad boy and see how wide it is. I mean, I won't remember, but at least I can look back on this video and be like, oh, that's how wide it is. I mean, I could totally write it down, but what fun would that be? But it's wide. It's very, very wide. I made just a big old circle base. Not following a pattern, I just went round and round and round and round until I decided it was big enough. And then when I was ready to start working straight up, I did around a half double crochet, and then I worked in the front loops, I guess you'd call them. Like when you do a half double, I worked, instead of working in the V here, I kind of tipped it forward, and then I worked in the 2 side legs of the half double. And then I did around, I think I did, let's see, back post doubles maybe? No, that's not it. I did a round of, oh yeah, I did some rice stitching. Lori said, I'm super tired of working at high school as a counselor, so lots happening to wrap up the year. Today was a celebration in my space with a photo booth, graduation cab, decorating, and a raffle. Oh, how fun! Yes, y'all are getting ready to wrap up the school year. So now, does your school year end in mid-May, or is yours one of the ones that ends in June? Our local school here, they get out mid-May. Kimberly says, heading into the bushes to add a border to a quilt. Ooh, awesome! Have fun! Oh, y'all, we're almost around to the end of this row, so I'll keep going until I get to the end of this round. Lori said, and then we have the awards ceremony in the afternoon. Tomorrow is scholarship presentation luncheon at the park. Oh, awesome. Yep, yours ends May 23. So you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You are ready for summer. Yeah, the school here ends probably around the same time, mid-May. I say mid-May, more, I guess, mid to late. I want to say graduation's usually around the 19th, 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere around in there. But when I lived in South Carolina, our school year got out in June. Like probably like the first week of June or first to second week of June. And then my ex-in-laws, their school didn't get out until the end of June. Probably right before July. Like when's Labor Day? June 20 something. So they went to school from Labor Day. Hey Carrie, welcome in. How are you doing? Basically their school year was Labor Day to Memorial Day. Is how theirs went. That doesn't make sense though. Wait a minute. That's not right because Labor Day is like in September. Heck, I don't know. That's not right. My brain didn't that's yeah. They started after Labor Day, but they went way after they started after Labor Day, but they didn't end at Memorial Day because they ended at the end of June. Okay, let's measure this guy and see how wide it is. Maybe. How many rows did I do? Let's see. 1, 2, 20. I did 20 rounds. Looks like. Before I started working up. Aww. Let's see. Lori said, we have had the city parks and splash pads. We have the Indianapolis 500 all on Memorial Day weekend, so the school board likes to get school wrapped up before then. That makes sense. So Eliana has her choir recital tomorrow night, and she gets to say a Bible verse if she doesn't get scared and back out. Aww. Sweet baby girl. Maybe she won't. Maybe she won't get scared. Okay. Let's see how wide this is. This will be just like a... It won't be an exact because it's going to be going up and down here. Okay, we're at 12. So it's about 2 feet. It is 24 inches across right now. But, so 24 inches is what we are from here to here. From this dark band. So that'll give us something to measure against after I felt it and see how much it shrinks down. All right. Let me turn my camera back around. To the other side, to the other camera. Whoo-wee. All right. So this is how big it is. So we did 2 rounds tonight, or a round and a half at least. Come here, you. So this is how wide it is. Can y'all see it all? It's really big. Really big. So we'll see how much it shrinks. Oh, I guess I could measure. It's actually quite a bit taller than I thought it was. Ooh, let's see. What did I do with you? Here you are. Let's see. My mom said in Michigan they got out the day before Memorial Day and went back the day after Labor Day. See, that's what I was thinking Massachusetts did, but they didn't get out of school till the end of June, so that math didn't math for me when I was saying that a while ago. My calculations were incorrect. Okay, so it is currently 16 inches tall. Lori said, the Parks Department recruits pool staff, lifeguards, camp counselors out of the high school, so it helps that work-based learning opportunity to be done with classes before summer. We used to have a pool. It closed maybe 2 years ago. It had some maintenance issues, like underneath the ground, under the earth, like a big sinkhole, because it was built over some caves, so it wasn't safe because it was like eroding. Anyway, so they had to fill it in, but that's what they did for years. The teachers would, they always hired a teacher to like be the swimming pool manager, and then when the lifeguards and stuff. So Noe said, come on, hockey teams with the pretty colors. I want to make a playoff temperature blanket with very little reds and blacks. You don't want any red and black teams in there? Angel said that's going to hold a lot of goodies. It is. It's well, if it shrinks down by half, then that would make it what, 8 inches? So, and a third would make it what? About 10 inches. That's how tall it is right now. Because if right here, this dark band is the bottom, is where the bottom ends, and we start going up. So by the time I finish doing another section about as wide as this, because that's about one skein, so that'll add what, about another 5 inches, and then I'll finish it off with this dark color, this one. So I'll finish it off with this dark, and then I'll make the handles, and I'm just going to make the handles like I'm just going to chain or do I'll either chain or I'll do like a section of a chainless double crochet across. That way it just has like a little opening, that kind of a handle. So not like a big tall handle, but just where you can stick your hands in it and pick it up. No, he said most of the East Coast teams are red with the exception of the Maple Leafs, which is blue and white. I know, like, is it like, let's see, which I mean, I doubt they're in it. I haven't been keeping track, but like, the Preds are blue and gold. Did I drop my yarn on the ground? What did I do with you? Nope, there you are. Where? Oh, that's the end. I dropped it in the basket. It's in there somewhere. Somewhere in the basket. Alrighty. Alright, y'all. Well, I think I'm gonna head out and I may work on the tutorial a little bit for the crochet quilt. But before I do that, I'm gonna have to go find my crochet hook, which is probably in the living room because it's not in here. Well, I'm gonna go look in the living room first because if it's in there, I know exactly where it is. Whereas if it's in here, it is underneath something right here, which I've been doing really good to like put it in the little thingy, but it's not in here. So what was I making last? I bet I was working on this one. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek. I was working on this. So I bet it's in the living room. Yep. That was a little sneak peek. Lori said, I think Michigan still does their school year like that. They started stretching the school year out with longer breaks, trying to reduce summer learning loss. And one of the school systems around here went to what is technically considered year round, but they really don't seem like they go to school longer. But they start a little bit earlier and then they end a little bit later, but then they get longer time out at Christmas. And then they get a longer spring break and a longer fall break. But it seems like, and I'm guessing that they still do that. I know they did when my kids were in school. And they voted on whether or not to do it here, and everybody was like, no. But I mean, the neighboring county voted to do that, and it doesn't seem like it actually seems like they have more time off. But like I said, they go back to school probably a week maybe before our school's here, and then they get out like a week later. But I mean, and it may be a little bit longer, maybe it's like a week and a half here or there, but seems like they get longer breaks because I know they get 2 weeks. They get a 2-week spring break and a 2-week fall break. So, which would be an extra week. Maybe it is just an extra week at the beginning and the end, but I was thinking that they got longer at Christmas, but maybe not. But because of that makes them, however it works out, they're considered to be a year-round school because of how they did it. But anyway, that was the reason, because of the summer learning loss, to see if that would make a difference. And I don't know if it, I don't know what the studies have shown as far as if it made a difference in that county or not. But anywho, all right, y'all, I am gonna head out of here. I thank y'all so very much for coming and hanging out with me while I worked on that basket. And eventually that basket is going to be done because I feel like I have been working on it for forever. But to be fair, it wasn't even in timeout. I just forgot about it. So I didn't work on it for over a year. So it's time though. It's time for Mr. Basket to be done. So he's going to hang out here. And when I'm working on the whips, I'm going to work on him until I get it done. Let's see. Lori says, I don't think the data has backed up that learning loss is reduced. However, teachers seem to like the longer fall and spring breaks. Now that I could I agree. I think so too. Because, especially like you're ready for that fall break. I have lots of friends that are teachers and they're ready. They are ready for fall break when it comes around. And then after spring break, then you're almost done with the school year because when you come back, it's like, woohoo! That's your final push to the end. Let me go back over here. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out with me. And I will see y'all next week. So remember, be creative. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.